Hi there people, Ryan White here for highpointmusic.com.au. In today's lesson we're going to look at a solo jazz guitar arrangement of Someday My Prince Will Come, which was inspired by the recording from the Miles Davis Quintet. Okay, so for part number one, people, we're going to be breaking down this intro part right here. So 1, 2, 3. So C minor 9 to B diminished. One more time, back to B diminished here. And okay, and then up through that F suspended run there. Okay, so our C minor 9 shape here, we've got our C on the 8th fret on the E string there, and then we've got our second finger on the B flat here, on the D string, 8th fret. First finger goes on the 7th fret on the G string, which is the D, and then our fourth finger is on the G on top, okay? Okay, so you can either hybrid pick, finger pick with this one, whichever one suits your style. Okay, and then moving on to the next chord shape, we're sliding our second finger down, and then our first finger is coming in on the A flat, okay? Third finger's on the D, which is 7th fret, and fourth finger's on the G, which is the 8th fret on the B, okay? So just get the hang of moving between those two shapes there, okay? And then once you've got that comfortable, then we can run through it 3 times in a row. So what we're doing is we're just going 1 and 2, 3. So splitting up the upper structure in the chord and our bass note like that. So it's 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. Change to the B diminished. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. Repeat. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. B diminished. We'll do that one more time. B diminished like that. Okay, for the next part we've got coming up here. Okay, what we've got is our first finger in this F sus7 here on the 8th fret. We've got F, B flat, E flat and G. First finger in the 8th fret across those 4 strings, A, D, G, B. And then all we're doing with our bass note is we're just going 1 and, okay, and then coming back for 2, 3, so 1 and 2, 3, and then for the next bar we place our third finger on the A there, on the 10th fret on the B string, go 1 and 2, 3. For the third bar we place our fourth finger, okay, on the B flat on the 11th fret, 1 and 2, 3, and then for the next bar we come back with our third finger here, and we're using our first finger to play the C on top, okay, so we've got F, B flat, E flat, A and C there, okay? So we go all together, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. One more time with that, people. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. So for the first 4 bars of the head part of the arrangement, 2, 3. Alright, let's break that down. So we're going to set up this B flat major 7 in our left hand here. So first finger is covering the B flat and the F on the E and the B strings there. And then we've got our second and third fingers on the A and D notes, which is the 7th fret on the D and G strings like that. But we're going to use our fourth finger as an alternate bass note on the 8th fret here, okay? So first step, place that chord shape, and we're going to be hitting the E string and the B string together, so. Okay, so the B flat and the F together like that. The next step, people, we're going to go 1. Okay, we're going to hit that bass note on the F and then the A and D, which is the 3rd and 7th of the chord. So it goes 1, 2, and like that. Okay, so once you're feeling comfortable with that, we're then going to jump to this D augmented dominant or D7 sharp 5. We've got our open D, our D up the octave here, our F sharp with our 3rd finger on the 7th fret, and then our 1st finger here, okay? That's our chord, and the way we're breaking it down is exactly, well, very similar rhythms to the first bar. So we go hit our D and our A sharp, okay, there, and then we go, okay, on the 7th frets on the D and F sharp there, so it goes. So that's what we're doing there. So with the B flat we got, so that's a little passage or segment there. Okay, once you got that, feeling comfortable, then we're setting up this E flat Lydian shape here with the A on top in the melody. So we've got our G, which here, okay, our G octave, our C there, which makes it an E flat major 6, and then we've got our A, which is the sharp 11 on top there. So really, your first finger is making a bar like that, is placing your 4th finger on the G, on the 8th fret on the B string. Okay, the same picking pattern again, we're hitting our D and E strings together to get the G and the A on top, and then the G and B strings in between. So, alright, so all together we got B flat to D augmented, and then the E flat Lydian. We're then going to jump up to this, okay, augmented chord shape here. So we're making use of symmetrical harmony. Okay, so we've got our, let's call this a B7 sharp 5, but we really are just bringing that G out on top, okay? So your 1st and 2nd fingers on the 7th frets, we've got the B and the A there. We've got our E flat with our 3rd finger on the 8th fret on the G string, and then our 4th finger's on the G. Okay, so you could, with the chord being a G7 sharp 5 in this one, we can just look at this as an inversion of that chord shape using symmetrical harmony. Alright, so what we're doing once we've got this chord shape set up like this, we're just going 1, 2, 3. So just moving it chromatically back and then back up again. So looking at this in context now, we've got okay, so moving into the next part of this one, we're going to be setting up a 1st finger playing of C minor 7 like this. Okay, we're going to be using our 3rd finger on the bass here, so we go. Alright, so we've got our 1st finger on the 8th fret, we're hitting the bass and the B string together. Okay, like that. So we go 1, 2, and then D and G together. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, like that's a, right, and then our next chord shape, okay, again we're making use of an inversion of the G7 sharp 5, so we've got our 1st finger on the G, 2nd finger on the F, which is the 10th fret on the G string there, and then we've got our little finger, or sorry, 3rd finger on the E flat, or D sharp rather, in this chord. Okay, and then our 4th finger is on the 3rd degree of the chord there. Okay, so we've got 1, 7, 3, sharp 5. Okay, and again what we're doing here is we're hitting this chord with our A, G, B, E, so, and then hitting the G and B, so 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. And then what we're doing for the next bar is we're going to this C minor 9 voicing here. Okay, which has got our second finger on the 10th fret on the C, the E flat with our first finger, our third finger's on the D there, and our fourth finger's on the B flat. Okay? So what we're doing with this one is we're hitting the whole chord like that, okay? So 1, 2, like that. So, and then our first finger plays the C there. So putting that together with this, so like that, so okay, once we got that, then we're laying our first finger across here. Okay, in that F sus7 or F sus dominant shape we've covered in the introduction, and we're just going, we're hitting our bass note and the rest of our chord, okay? You can strum that if you're playing with a pick, or alright, so just like that, and then adding those notes on the end, like that. So let's put those 4 bars together with it from our C minor 7. So one more time, C minor 7. Okay, so notice on this one how I'm breaking up the bass in the upper structure of the chord. So okay, so once we've got those previous parts together, we're going to finish it off by going okay, nice little run at the end. So let's break down what we've got. This first chord shape after we've led up from this part here. Okay, we've got our first finger laid flat across the 10th fret C, F, A, D, and then fourth finger's on the F there. Our second finger is playing the 11th fret there on the E flat, so, and then into this beautiful E major 7 sharp 11 to an E flat major 7, sorry, E flat Lydian before, and then back to that chord shape like that. Okay, so E flat Lydian, E flat major 7, back to our chord shape there. And then what we're doing after that, we're just repeating that run from the previous Lydian, which is, so that F7 sus there, and then back to this chord here. And then our little run with the chord, we hit it. So hit the chord, 11, 10, 13, 10. Like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then slide into the A, first finger up to the F, and then E flat. So everything together, so E flat Lydian. Okay. Just like that. Okay, so once we've got the first part of the form under our fingers, we're repeating a heap of information for the second part. I'll walk you through. So here's what we got. We are repeating this part here. This bit as well. Okay, and here's where we change it up. So let's jump in and break down those new parts there. So we go from this point here down to this chord shape here. Okay, which is our first finger laid across the 6th fret like that. Second and third on the D and F sharp on the 7th fret, and then our fourth finger is going between the C on the E string and lifting up to play the B flat. Okay, so, and then we've got this little group of intervals here. E flat, F, C, that lifts off to a B flat on the same string. So 1, 2, 3, and then we play this chord shape here, which looks, well, is an A7, but we've got G, C sharp, E, A, like that. Okay. And then we play an E half diminished shape here to put that G on top. don't know that one, it's just an E half diminished, so 1. And then from that point we'll drop into a C minor 11, where we're going hit the 5th, lift our 4th finger off to hit the E flat there, and then F7, like that. So F and D together, C, and then up the octave, and then into this B major 7 sharp 11 to throw something a bit funky as a resolution chord there. So 2nd finger, 4th finger on the B, 3rd finger's on the D sharp there, 1st finger is on the 6th fret, okay, on the E sharp and A sharp there, 2nd finger's on the B in the bass. So putting this section together, we've got, okay, into this shape here, and then our 2/5 to our B, and then you can jump into your solos, just like that. So that concludes today's lesson. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel and keep up to date with the content we got coming out. And if either yourself or someone you know of is having issues with their guitar playing, I'd like to invite you to check out the High Point Music Guitar Fundamentals program to master the fundamental skill sets of contemporary guitar and truly set your playing apart. You can even check it out on an obligation-free trial before you buy, so there's no excuses to be stuck in a rut with your playing any longer. And lastly, if you'd like to become a valued member of the channel through our Patreon account, you can do so by following the links below. My name is Ryan White. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you all very, very shortly.